Welcome to today's stream. This is a bonus stream. Normally I don't stream on Thursdays, but today seems fitting. We reached 5k subs on my YouTube channel, so that's what I'm gonna do. Let's have some fun in Guild Wars 2 and celebrate my big milestone. As always, if you have any questions, any comments, let me know. I'm always happy to answer, especially for new players. I'm always very fond of answering questions and just helping you out. So let me know if you have anything that's on your mind. In the meantime, we play some Fractal CMs. Ooh, we have a Weaver. Let's see how the Weaver performs. They can actually out DPS the Scourges. Welcome, Echo Fox. Welcome, welcome. Surprising and not so surprising stream today. So we are celebrating my 5k subs on YouTube, and that's why I thought, nah, there is almost no better time to do a celebration stream. So I guess that's what we're gonna do. Hope we have some nice, interesting discussions again. And yeah, just enjoying the nice day off. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you all had a nice day so far. "25-hour stream, but never hurt anyone." I'm not so sure about that one, but I will slowly increase my streaming hours so that maybe at one day I will also do a 25-hour stream, but today is not the day. But I will slightly always try to increase and stream for longer, and I hope at one day I will also be able to do those numbers, because apparently people really like watching those crazy streams. Yeah. "24-hour stream." Okay, and then that's not a big deal then. That's easy. That's not a big problem. Yeah, no, I think for me it's like I really enjoy streaming. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like at some point when I, streamed for maybe 2 to 3 hours, at some point my voice just gets sore and I feel like I'm really exhausted. I need to calm down for a bit, and I really try to increase the amount of hours that I can put in without feeling this need for a break. And at some point I might want to stream for 5 to 6 hours. I think that's my goal. Going longer, I would probably only stream if I would be, let's say, be a full-time content creator and would do some kind of subathon or something like that. But other than that, I feel like streaming longer than 6 hours, it's really crazy. At some point you need some kind of break. Yeah, I mean, it would be a really cool challenge, to be honest, at some point to go for some kind of really long stream, but it would probably be some kind of very, very big event that I would probably announce way earlier than just randomly going live, so that people might be interested in joining that event as well. I'm almost getting the Scourges, actually. Power DPS is really good in this fight. Kappa. Yeah. There you see, I have so much range pressure on this chrono build, even though I'm not even using Greatsword, which is obviously one of the weapons that is very nice for this fight. I'm actually doing quite a good job of keeping up with my DPS players. Let's just hope they don't die in the last phase again, because that's what is really annoying about this Fractal. Actually, to die, what is it? I actually have a crazy DPS today because of the buffs in this Fractal. Ooh, Fractals in 3 AM? That sounds like a bad choice. Yeah, I agree. 99 went so-and-so, and 98 was surprisingly smooth, but we disbanded at 97 after 5 wipes on Arc. This is insane. How could you wipe that often and clear the other Fractals that easily? Because I feel like the other Fractals are actually harder nowadays with the power creep. I don't know. It sounds like a horrible experience. I can't imagine. But for me, I feel like Arc is only a problem if you don't have a decent support. I think if you have a decent support player, I mean heal support, then Arc is actually not a problem at all. You can negate all the mechanics. But if people have a support that is not doing all the mechanics for them, oftentimes they struggle quite a bit. That's probably what happened there. Yeah, I can see that actually. The Weaver is completely destroying the Scourges. That's actually a clear sign that Weaver is not as people always think. Weaver is actually really good. You see? Quick heal Firebrand who didn't get stability. Yeah, that sounds like I was expecting something like that, and I have to be honest, I didn't want to say it because I don't want to be mean to all the Firebrand players out there, but I think that's exactly what you would expect. Yeah. That you just have someone that is doing a decent build but are not doing a really decent job with it. Yeah. Happens. I guess you have to fill the heal Firebrand role at some point, and you will easily carry your group then, you know? Just go and join the people that are actually doing the mistakes and say, no, I will take over and I will do it. Yeah, that's how you have to do it. And maybe you are the born healer. Maybe you completely know how to do it and you can do everything perfectly on the first run. Maybe you are just very good at it. I will catch up on YouTube chat in a second. Just let me kill those ads here. I don't want to wipe my group in this last phase. This is always really annoying if that happens. Can you explain that again? I played Quick Firebrand in your strike mission yesterday. What should I focus on? So Firebrand is one of the hardest classes to play if you are playing support. Why is that? Because you, in contrast to a lot of other supports, you don't provide your quickness, your boons and stuff for most of the time with just a radius around you. Yeah. So for example, I play Chronomancer. If I now shatter, I provide quickness or alacrity just around me. You see this area where this ring was, this very light ring of just white around me. That's where the actual boons apply. Quick Firebrand and quickness healing Firebrand is actually not working like that for the most part. A lot of stuff that you actually do is in front of you and in some kind of small cone. So that means if you're playing a Firebrand, you not only want to use your boon skills, your healing skills and stuff, but you also need to position in a way that you always stand behind your group like that and have a cone in front of you that is actually where all the party members are standing. Yeah. And sometimes that's very hard because your party members are just split and you can't provide the boons with it. And that's really annoying to do, especially as a new player, because you have to concentrate on mechanics. You have to do healing. You have to give boons. Yeah, all of that stuff. And you still have to stand in the correct spot. Yeah. So if you can't do that, and that's very common as a new Firebrand that you can't do that, you just don't provide enough boons and healing output for your allies. Yeah. And that's why I would always suspect if you have a struggling support, it's because people think, oh, Firebrand is actually a very good support, which it is. But you have to play it decently well to actually make it a good support. And that's why I would say it's my top one spot in Fractals, where I would say why people die is because the healer was actually a Firebrand that didn't know exactly how to do it. Yeah, that's the whole arguing here. Welcome, Aliana. Welcome everyone on YouTube. So I will do a Q&A video very soon where I answer this question actually in detail. We have the question on YouTube and I will answer this question in detail. So if you can bear with me to wait a little bit longer, be patient. We will actually answer this question and all other questions on my Q&A video in the future. Yeah. Yeah, the legendary switch from Scourge, which is obviously a really hard class, to the very easy quickness heal Firebrand. I mean, I see that coming, you know. At some point, you notice that this is actually the way to go, you know. You like the challenge, you like to do that, yeah. The cone, the problem with the cone is that the cone is a very, let's say, very short ranged attack that is also a cone. So you really have to stand close to your allies while still standing behind them and having all of them in a cone. which is obviously a big problem for newer players because you don't know when the cone ends and stuff, and it's not really well telegraphed. You know, it's just some kind of spit in front of you. And thanks for the follow, Chaos. Really appreciate it. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. But other than that, I would say a lot of skills, for example, your stability with, how is it called? Stand your ground, and other skills like even your healing skill and stuff, those can provide boons to allies around you as well. But for example, the quickness mantra, which is your, I think, 60% quickness uptime generator, is in the cone. So if you don't use that correctly, in the worst case, you just have 40% quickness on your allies, which is obviously horrible. And that applies to a lot of other stuff with the cone stuff as well, in the tomes, but also in the, how is it called? Also in other mantras, for example, the cleansing mantra, the regeneration mantra, all of those apply boons in front of you, or heal and cleanse in front of you. And if you can't provide that consistently because you don't know about it, or you just can't keep up with it because there are so many other things that you have to keep an eye out for, then you will grief your group to some extent. And that's why I would say start out in fractals and stuff on a healer that is a little bit easier to learn, or try really to focus on providing heals and stuff and start out with easy fractals and then slowly improve your, so to say, your fractal difficulty scale to some extent, and not start with fractal CMs on a healing firebrand that you never played before. Yeah. Yeah, have a nice day as well. I hope you're having a nice day, actually. Chaos, don't worry. Yeah, stability in your tome 3 is also, the 5 skill is also some nice AoE stability, that's correct. But you have other tomes and stuff that are in front of you. For example, the healing tomes, they are in front of you often, especially the auto attacks. So those you have to keep an eye out where you stand. So Firebrand is actually not always the easiest. Welcome, Credit. Welcome, welcome. But I feel like giving Power Virtuoso or Conti Virtuoso try after getting better with Power Scrapper. I feel like I learned a lot with how Power Scrapper queuing is played. Yeah, I think understanding how Guild Wars 2's attacks patterns and the queuing and those aftercasts and that kind of stuff works. If you just play different classes, you learn a lot. And if you swap to a new class, it's quite likely that you will better at it if you played another class before that is similar. Definitely. And I think Power Virtuoso, if you played Power Scrapper, is actually quite similar from how it plays. I think both of them are actually quite good in fractals. Yeah. Welcome, Otterus. Welcome, welcome. 40% quickness in a fight is only horrible if the other percent of 60% are fighting. Yes, of course. If they are downtime, you know, if you have a fight that for whatever reason had over 50% downtime and you don't have quickness in that fight, yes, you're completely correct, of course, that it doesn't matter. But the problem is in fractals, for example, typically you don't have that much downtime. So if you have 40% quickness uptime, then something is going horribly wrong. Yeah. Especially if you play a Firebrand, because a Firebrand should not have any reason to not have 100% or 90% uptime, because they can actually provide it even if there is downtime, which is the biggest, let's say, plus why you would play Firebrand and Fractals above a Chronomancer, because a Chronomancer, even a heal Chronomancer, struggles a bit with upkeeping 100% boons because of the downtime. You need a target to actually hit. On a heal Firebrand, you can just spam your skills even when there is no target and you will upkeep 100% quickness. So keep that in mind. So if you are a heal Firebrand and can't achieve over 90% or let's say 85% of quickness uptime, then you are having to reiterate how you actually provide quickness and have to just check if you are always standing correctly, if you have the right amount of boon duration and that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, no problem, Daimno. Always happy to answer questions, especially when it's about heal Firebrand, because I really feel like people should understand how it works and why they actually struggle with it. Because only then you can improve. If you don't even know why you are struggling, then in my opinion, that's the biggest problem. A lot of people are always not really understanding why they are not having the craziest DPS in their group. It's because the healer is struggling with upkeeping the boons. Yeah. So we are celebrating that I reached 5k subs on my YouTube channel. So that's why I'm doing a bonus stream, so to say. But I also have nothing else to do right now. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm just enjoying myself. And if you want to participate in the giveaway, we are having almost 2.5k gold giveaway right now going. Just check out my YouTube channel. and check out the video. It's very easy to participate, and the win chances are actually not that bad. The edge case for quickness needed in downtime. Yeah, sometimes it happens. Yeah. The orb druid needed to push the orb, and my untamed quickness is like 11 seconds for every weapon swap, so I barely overstack. Yeah, I mean, I think you can do it without quickness actually, but obviously I think even there you can, for example, focus on the orb, which is obviously weird, but you can focus on the enemies that spawn there as well if you know what you're doing. For example, there are some kind of champion spawning and that kind of stuff, so you can provide quickness there as well, but of course it's way more annoying to do so. So I can totally see why you would say this is the really weird scenario where downtime quickness can be worthwhile, but I feel like that's not very often the case. What is your personal favorite class elite spec for PvP and PvE? Oh, that's a really tough question, to be honest. Wait, where is it? I didn't CC anything and they killed it. Very good. That's the first group where I would say that they don't need my CC. Very good. So my favorite, I think I have to split it. I can't give you one answer for all game modes. That's just, I play all the classes. I don't like to say this is the only class that I play and this is fun. So for me personally, I think in PvE right now, as you can see, I play Mesmer a lot. I feel like Mesmer is my favorite class because it's just so flexible. I can fill every role and be very, very good on it. Yeah. In PvP right now, I really like to play Power Herald because it's absolutely broken and it's just very fun. Or Condi Reaper. Those two are my favorite classes to play right now. Yeah. Condi Thief is actually really underestimated currently. It's really good how good it can be in ranked, especially if you just burst someone with the X. It's actually insane. It's really crazy how people don't see that. For World vs. World, I would say currently probably Catalyst. I really like to play with Catalyst for roaming because I can easily swap when I see a Zerg, and I can easily swap to some kind of DPS build or some kind of staff build and can go for really big, so to say, hitboxes and AoEs. But it's not absolutely, you know, it's not necessary for me to play one single build in World vs. World or PvP. I swap around a lot, so it's hard for me to really nail it down to one. Yeah, exactly. It's national holiday, I think, in Austria and Germany. That's why I thought it's a nice time to actually start streaming. Makes sense. Yeah, it's always like that. People are typically new to the role and then they struggle a bit with keeping up boons or struggle up with keeping up other stuff because they don't know how to actually deal with the mechanic and stuff. But it's fine, you know, at some point you are new and you have to learn. And I feel like if you tell the people friendly how to actually improve at it, then you will have a way more enjoyable experience in the future. That's my take on the matter. Yeah. Yeah, it's in Germany too. Yeah. What would you say are the advantages or disadvantages for Herald or Chrono in the Boon DPS role? So the advantages of Boon DPS Herald, so going for Quickness Herald, is that it's very easy to play. It's very consistent. You get it's really easy to achieve 100% quickness uptime with this build. It's just passively proccing around you. It's really easy. So I would say it's one of the easiest quick DPS to get really high numbers on the quickness uptime. That's really good. On the other hand, I would say it is very low in DPS. With the recent nerf to it, it's actually one of the lowest quickness DPS that is there. Yeah, that is out there. Which is not a big deal, because if you can upkeep your quickness all the time, then it's way more important that you do that than just having higher DPS. But it's also not as flexible. So I personally think if you're a really good player, Chronomancer is better for you because you can swap your utilities freely. You can go for Reflex, you can go for Stability, you can go for CC. A Herald has way more problems swapping stuff around because they are so, you know, they're bound by the legends. Yeah. So I would say the easy part is with going for Quickness Herald, and the more experienced person would go with Chronomancer as a support. And I think, like Dino mentions, I think Heal Firebrand is also very good in this regard, but it's again struggling with the same problem that you have just way too many skills and stuff that you have to keep track of as a new player. Yeah, it's one of the hardest things to do as a new player is playing Heal Firebrand, because it's very overloaded, the kit. Yeah. Yeah. You shouldn't wait for the portal to spawn. I was actually expecting it. Ah, so good. I'm good. I'm good. How are you, Final One? How are you? I think my favorite for PvE right now is Mechanist. I mean, the Mechanist build is absolutely insane. It's very easy to play, and you will out DPS almost anyone in pucks because you have decent DPS and you can actually reach the benchmark in real fights, which is obviously something that a lot of classes struggle to do. So it's actually insane. I would definitely agree with you. Mechanist is currently absolutely broken in PvE. You can play a Condi mech, you can play a rival mech, you can play a rival Alacrity mech. It's actually insane what you can do. You can do so much on this build. It's actually crazy. Welcome, Roger. Welcome. Is Revenant overall in good class? I would say so, yes. I think especially in the competitive modes it's really good. In PvE, I would say it's a build that can do all roles, but it's not always the best one, but it's extremely strong in solo play. For example, if you play solo, if you want to kill bosses and stuff solo in open world, oh come on. That's really good. What? It's fine. Yeah, so that's something that I would recommend. Revenant currently probably the best, maybe the second best heavy armor class to play. I think only Guardian is a little bit better overall, but that's just my personal take. Yeah, I really enjoy Revenant. Yeah. How to position yourself for quickness, heal, and stability, and the second to encounters to actually be able to do so. Yeah, I think that's always. I think that's for the most part actually true for all classes. Just understanding how you provide your boons, how you provide your DPS, and understanding the mechanics of the fight in a way that you understand when to use your skills, because you are specific role. You play Heal Firebrand, you want to do the stability and that kind of stuff because you are the Heal Firebrand. Stuff like that is definitely, yeah, that makes you a very good player. Yeah. I don't have Reflect. That's fine. Can absorb it. So if you don't know, if you have projectiles coming at you that you can reflect, even unreflectable ones, if you have some kind of distortion, some kind of invulnerability up, you can actually absorb them by jumping into the projectile. That's also a mechanic. What is going on? Why is everyone dead? That's actually a mechanic that is not only in PvE useful, but also PvP and World vs. World. So if you are, for example, for whatever reason, fighting a 2v2 with a invulnerability skill that you have, for example, you're playing a Guardian with renewed focus and you have invulnerability, and an enemy casts some kind of projectile at an ally that is really low on health, you can actually save them by walking into the projectile and absorbing it with your invulnerability. And that's very useful for Mesmers as well, because you have distortion and an instant cast. You can then instantly cast, for example, to absorb some kind of projectiles with it. It's really, really nice. Yeah. Yeah, I hope it's on your side, because if it's on my side, I would have noticed hopefully before that. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, I think that the GG strat is typically only with one person. If you get the message that you are doomed, you're about to explode or something like that, then you should GG after maybe 5 seconds or something. If the group is fast enough, you can actually kill before then. But if you can't, then you have to GG. And it should not be the case that 2 people die. I think someone was just not really doing it correctly, or died to something else. Yeah, should not be the case. I'm a new player and I need to know how to do your cursor like that. So I really dislike the visibility of the cursor in Guild Wars 2. So I'm using Blish HUD, which is a legal add-on in Guild Wars 2, and then I use the mouse cursor module. Yeah, I have a guide on my YouTube channel how to set up your Blish HUD. So just check that out on my YouTube channel and look for Blish HUD. So, and you will actually find it there. It's really good in my opinion. and it saves me a lot of effort to actually find my mouse cursor, which is really annoying. Yeah. Welcome back, Malison. Welcome back. So here is a Alacrity DPS. I have to fill the role of killing this anomaly, which is obviously, oh, I'm also doomed. Which is obviously a really nice thing if you keep track of the anomaly. If you don't, your party will hate you. But if you're power DPS, you don't have a big problem there. So that's why this fight is obviously a really big power fight. You don't want to play Condi here. There are so many phases, there are so many things that you have to keep track of. If you're playing as a Condi build, you don't get any damage done. Yeah. So that's why also our Reapers are playing Reaper and not Scourge here. It's just really bad if you would play Scourge here. I mean, you could, I guess you could play a power Scourge, but that's just not a thing in PvE. You see, I instantly try to kill the anomaly so that I'm just very safe if we can't get the phase skip. We can also reflect here. The red orbs thingy. And we get the next phase. You can see this is really straightforward, this fight, because we can skip almost all the mechanics here. Yeah. But if it comes to long-term play, would you say Mesmer has a longer learning keep active phase than the other classes? For example, if you compare that with Guardian specs? I personally think so, because Mesmer is more flexible. I think I always value classes that are really flexible way more in terms of longevity than other classes that are really straightforward, but you don't have a lot of stuff to swap around. Because if you can fill multiple roles all the time, that makes you way more likely to actually stick to it, because you can fill more roles and get way better at it at some point. Yeah, that's just maybe my take on the matter, because I'm always enjoying to be flexible and filling spots depending on what the group currently needs. But I feel like Mesmer can do that way better than a lot of other classes. That's why I enjoy playing a lot in PvE right now. Nice, we got the CC. And now we can easily skip all the mechanics here. Just by killing the boss before it does anything that is actually annoying us. Actually crazy. Yeah, the Weaver is actually, don't underestimate Weaver. If you have someone that is actually really capable of playing Weaver, Weaver is one of the best classes to play in Fractals, because they have crazy good burst damage and they're just a power build, you know? You don't need a lot of sustain if you just kill the boss very fast, yeah? And Weaver is just better than a lot of other classes. I think there are only two builds that are better than Weaver in Fractals, which is Power Soul Beast, if you know what you're doing, and Power Dragon Hunter. Only those two are better. Weaver is the third place in my opinion in terms of power DPS option. But only, it's like with Heal Firebrand, only a small fraction of the player base is actually capable of playing a Weaver correctly. Yeah. Yeah. My Scourge does more DPS than those Perpetual Reapers that die on the second boss. I guess so. I mean, I didn't want to be, let's say, passively aggressive there and insult your Scourge gameplay. I'm just saying Condi builds typically should not be played on power fights for the most part. And I feel like if the Reapers are here out DPS by your Scourge, then it's on them. It's on them, definitely. It's good for solo target only, right? I think Power Weaver has decent... No, it depends. If you play with Sword, you actually have decent cleave as well. If you play with Scepter for whatever reason or something like that, then you might struggle. But typically you play with Sword and you actually have a decent amount of damage on your, let's say, cleave as well. Yeah. Yeah. I just played that Condi Chuck Garant a little while ago. It was amazing. I thought I would never play Elementalist again. Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. I think Elementalist is really underrated by a lot of people. I think it's really fun. Even though Weaver is one of the classes that is sadly not really loved by ArenaNet, I feel like Weaver is still very fun to play. I really hope they rework Weaver to some extent to make it even better, because it feels like currently it's only played by a handful of players, even though it's really good. You can see how much more DPS this person is doing. Of course, our Reapers are bad because I out DPS them as well. which is not something you want to see because I'm a lag DPS after all. But, I mean, I guess what can you do? You take what you can get in pugs, yeah. I'm happy that they don't die, I guess. So, let's go for some more food and swap to focus here. That's really important if you're playing Mesmer here. Swap to focus to get the pulse going. Because you cannot trust your Reapers and stuff to actually get the pulse going as well. As you can see, they actually failed to some extent here or couldn't wait. You have to wait a bit here, but more importantly for the second part where you take it. I mean, it's okay. 8k on Arc seems a little bit low, but I mean, if you're learning and if your group is consistently wiping, then I guess that's not surprising. Okay, I guess no one else wanted to capture the altar here. Yes, Scepter 3 is so good on Reaper, or in general on Necromancer. It's actually insane how much. Oh, they actually pulled it. Good job. They did it. They did it. Let me teleport up here, please. There we go. Ooh, that was dangerous, but I survived. Very good. The only reason why I would play Weaver is just because I can play full circle in every game mode. One build for all game modes. Yeah, I guess you could do that, but I feel like if you play full Berserker Weaver in PvP and World vs. World, it's like hit or miss. Sometimes you just get completely one-shot by someone else, and sometimes you one-shot someone. I feel like it's both of that is... it can be really fun, but it can be really frustrating as well. Which is okay, you know, sometimes you like that kind of playstyle. I can see that. I just feel like Weaver needs a little bit more of an identity. I feel like Weaver is in competitive mode, especially it's like, it doesn't really have, the trade line is just so bad in terms of what it provides. You know, if you compare it to Catalyst with you, where you get amazing stability access, amazing stats, just baseline, where you get crazy good boons, and Tempest, where you have crazy good support. Why would you pick a Weaver? You know, I feel like that's actually also the same for PvE. Yeah. Yeah, Cold Guardian is a very good pick for focusing your attention on. I think focusing on Guardian is always good for Guild Wars 2 because apparently ArenaNet never nerfs Guardian too much. It's always very good. Should I just roll for Druid PvE? I'm currently maining Soul Beast. I mean, it depends. Druid is really good as a support for PvE. If you want to fill the support role, yes, you should go for Druid. If you want to play a DPS role, you would go with Soul Beast. That much is for sure. This is a really clear split. And if you want to fill multiple roles, you should play both. Yeah. But of course, depends what you enjoy the most. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what my tip that I can give you. I can't really tell you go for Druid, go for Soul Beast, because it depends a bit on what you enjoy more. Yeah. Ooh, that was not good, the kiting on the greens. Can we get some heals? Nice, we got it. Yeah, I think Soul Beast is currently really underrated in PvE. I think it's one of the best DPS actually. How is our Reaper dying here? It's fine. We will just ignore him and kill the boss. I've always stayed far from Weaver and Elementalist in general because it demands too much effort for a few results that you can obtain easily with other aspects. I would agree. I think especially Weaver is currently... you should probably play something that is a little bit easier to play and you will achieve better results overall. That's definitely a big argument why they should buff Weaver or make it at least a little bit different, more unique in how to play it. That's my biggest wish for Weaver. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think you would probably start out as a Soul Beast because you just slowly learn the mechanics of the fights as a DPS and you will be better off. And then you increase your knowledge level and then you can swap easily to go for something like a Druid healer. And I think that's the direction or the order I would do it in, if you don't have a preference over each of those elite specs. Yeah, our group's DPS is actually really bad. I can't really tell if the Weaver's DPS is good or if just the other two people's DPS is really bad. I mean, I'm almost 7k ahead of the first Reaper. It's actually surprising. I don't know what they are doing. Are they playing Condi? No, they play Power. I don't know. Fizz off. They are definitely not very experienced on that. I don't flame them, just noticing it. Yeah. Yeah, Soul Beast is really good in PvE right now. It has a crazy good Condi build. It has a crazy good power build. Both of them are just really, really good as a DPS option. Especially in Fractals, it's really, really good. But in all PvE, actually. Also in solo scenarios, it's also really good. It's way better than Druid in solo scenarios, for that matter. Yeah. I'm glad to be wrong. Expect for Tempest, of course. It's simple. Yeah, I think Tempest is quite simple in comparison to Weaver and Catalyst. But I feel like Catalyst is also a little bit brain mushy. You just, you just press all your buttons and you will be good. Of course, there is a rotation bound to it. But I feel like it's not necessary to completely execute the rotation. I think after this Fractal run, I will also do some Iceblood Saga strike missions and I will showcase some Catalyst gaming. And I'm not the best Catalyst player, but I will show you that it's actually very, very easy to get decent amount of damage on a Quickness Catalyst by just pressing all the buttons. Yeah, I want to showcase that on stream. But I think Weaver is definitely too hard for most people, especially for the reward that you get from it, from playing it. Yeah. No problem, Roger. Always happy to help. This Weaver is probably, yeah, it's playing Sword Dagger, Power Weaver. Yeah, the standard DPS build. Are we not doing T4s? What? Okay, I guess we lose one of the Reapers. I'm not too sad about that. Is Catalyst good now? Yes, it's actually really good. It is one of the best Quickness DPS in terms of DPS. And in terms of full DPS, I think Catalyst is also very good, but it's a little bit more challenging to play. Yeah. Scepter Warhorn, yeah, nowadays you can play either daggers, Sword Dagger, or you can play a Scepter Dagger. Warhorn is not really that good anymore because Warhorn was like reworked into a support weapon nowadays. It's you don't really use it on a DPS build anymore because they removed some damage from it and gave it more support options. Yeah. Yeah, see you final ones. No problem. Have a nice day. But I feel like that's what I wanted to talk in a video of mine that I want to maybe record sometime soon. That the balancing in PvE, just talking about PvE balance, is actually currently really good. They have almost any class, any elite spec is playable on a really high level. There is almost no elite spec where I would say, I don't want to see that one in my sub. Yeah. So that's really good. I think the balancing there is really good. That's the only few exceptions are Weavers in harder raid fights and stuff because they don't really have a role other than DPS and it's really hard to perform on for the most part. Only if you're really a god gamer, you can actually do that. And lastly, and that's the sad part, I think Warrior needs some buffs. I think Warrior is, in my opinion, a big no-no. I think Warrior is too niche. It does damage and that's it. And I feel like that's not something that you want to have. You want to have some kind of utility in your kit as well, and I think, yeah, I don't know. No, I feel like Catalyst is easier to play than Weaver. That's pretty sure that that's the case. Berserker, I would say, is decent, but it's not crazy. Oh my god. Then so much damage, what? Yeah. Can you play meme builds, World vs. World or core classes? You can. I feel like there are a lot of meme builds in World vs. World, especially now this week because we have the Now Downstate event. and that means that you have one-shot builds like rival warriors running around like crazy, and also a lot of just raw power damage builds that just try to one-shot you. So this is definitely working. And core builds, what core builds would I use for World vs. World? Core Warrior is apparently quite good in Zerg and all other reasons for World vs. World. It's actually really underrated. And other than that, I don't know. Core classes are a little bit lackluster. Maybe Core Engineer is probably the best other class other than Core Warrior. But they never balance core classes in a way that you can compare them to elite specs for the most part. They want you to buy expansions. That's just the truth, sadly. Yeah, which is okay. I get why they do it. It just feels like for the free-to-play people, it feels like it's not very fun often if you don't have an expansion. Yeah. I want to learn elect DPS for Fractus raids. Currently thinking about Willbender or Chrono. Don't know about Willbender because of the forced movement. Other suggestions I'm missing. So if you are playing Fractus only, I would always suggest Renegade. But if, as you already mentioned, you wanted to play raids as well, then I would say Renegade is not a good option. I think Chronomancer is a very good option because you are very flexible, but it also requires you to have a lot of knowledge about the fights to actually make it work, because you want to know when to actually swap to specific utility skills and that kind of stuff. Willbender is way more straightforward. So if you understand how Willbender works, then you will probably be fine for the most part in raids and strike missions and Fractus as well. So I personally think the very easy way would be going with Willbender and just sticking to that, and you will have enough fun, and the forced movement, you will get around it at some point. But I feel like if you want to have the more take matters in your own hand approach, and you want to carry your group by playing a crazy build that can fill a lot of roles and play Reflect, have stability, have CC and that kind of stuff, then you play typically Chronomancer, because Chronomancer is just very flexible. You can do it on Willbender as well, don't get me wrong. It's just very, you lose DPS by doing that. And on Chronomancer, you don't really. I lose 500 to DPS by swapping to stability for this fight. So yeah, not a big deal. So I would go for Alacrity Chronomancer. Yeah. Personally. Yeah. What would your ideal raid team be? I would like to have one healing Chronomancer and probably one Druid. The Chronomancer would probably be Alacrity heal and Druid as well. And then for quick DPS, I would probably take a Quickness Scrapper for both subgroups, because then we have super speed. And then as a DPS build, I would probably right now, for if I wanted to go easy mode, I would use 6 Mechanists. I'm not joking. They are absolutely broken. Either 6 Condimex or Power Max. They are absolutely broken. Or if I wanted to go try hard, I would go with, let's say, probably, what would I go with? Let me think. What is the best class to play try hard style? Probably Power Deadeye. Yeah. I think mech is really good. It's very good in terms of what it can provide, especially if you are somewhat of an inexperienced person, because you don't really care about that it's inexperienced. I mean, they have some portal. Is there no one portaling? I guess I can portal them. Oh, okay, they're already there. Yeah, so that's my take on the matter. Yeah. What healer is the best reactively one? When I want to save people which are almost dead and heal them immediately to full health. Let me think about that. I mean, Scourge is quite good at that, but you would typically not heal them, you would barrier them. So that's probably the thing that you don't want to have. So I'm not sure. I think Chronomancer is quite good at that. Or Druid, if you have Celestial Avatar up, but I feel like that's a big if. Sometimes you don't have that up and then you can't big heal them. I think actually Catalyst probably. Actually, surprisingly, I think Catalyst might be one of the best burst healers. Yeah, I think actually that's the case. Quickness Catalyst. Quickness heal Catalyst. I have a build guide on my channel about that because it's very underrated how good that is. People don't understand how good that build is. So it's actually crazy. But it can upkeep 10 boons permanently and provide a lot of just useful healing passively, and it's quite fun to play. So I think it's just a win-win-win situation. It's a really good build and it's really underrated how good it is. It's not that good in fractals, sadly. It's decent, but not crazy good. But in raids and strike missions, it's actually crazy good. Yeah. Because typically in fractals you don't have one-shot attacks or attacks that deal a lot of damage at once. It's more like a raid scenario. So typically to heal someone from, let's say, 10% to 100% is typically done by people that play raids and strike missions way more. No one skips? Okay, I guess no one skips. That's an interesting... I just run through without stealth. Let's see if I can make it work. Normally it doesn't work, but I'm almost halfway through already. I guess we can just walk through without that much stealth. Nice. Typically the skip here is better. Just skip up this ramp if you have a leap. Could have swapped to Mirage, but I don't have the build template set up, so I don't want to do it. It's fine. Since I can play Elementalist again. You said Catalyst, yeah. Catalyst is really good, yeah. Stuck between Engineer or Thief? I would go probably in PvE for Engineer right now. It's just very, very strong. It's extremely good right now. Mechanist is really good. Scrapper is really good. Even Holosmith has a decent DPS build, but Holosmith is definitely the worst elite spec from Engineer. For competitive modes, Engineer is extremely strong in World vs. World as a Zerg spec, but for PvP, Engineer is actually quite bad, sadly. It's playable, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely worse than a lot of other specs. When it comes to Thief, I would say Thief is in PvE very flexible in terms of what your supportive can do as a Spectre. But for competitive modes, you're a little bit more like a DPS option all the time, like a Roamer. And in Zerg, you're not that good. So I personally would go for Engineer if I had choice between those two. Just if I wanted to play those game modes, yeah. But of course, that's always a personal thing. It's not like Thief is completely unplayable or Engineer is really bad at something. You can make everything work. You just have to adjust a bit your build, maybe. Yeah. And don't forget, if you want to participate in my YouTube giveaway, be sure to check out the link in the description. Just type in Twitch chat !giveaway and you actually can enter the giveaway there as well. Holo has no defensive utility, no stealth, no invulnerability. That's a bit too bursty. Yeah, I agree. I think Holosmith is definitely... It's very lackluster in what it actually has in defensive capabilities. That's a big problem. Mechanist and Scrapper have a way better utility kit for that. They have Barrier, they have... Oh, come on. That's mean. From downstairs, I got immobilized. Yeah. So I feel like Engineer, at least Holosmith and PvE needs some help to that. Yeah. Personally, yeah. Thanks for the follow, by the way. SPBG. Sorry for not pronouncing your name correctly, but thanks a lot. I started on my Necromancer 2 days ago as a new member. Totally liking the game. Yeah, perfect, Vector. That's how you want to have it. You want to play the game as on your class that you enjoy the most and just have fun. You know, that's just slowly increase the knowledge that you get. And explore the world, have fun, try out different builds if you get to it. It's really nice. That's how you do it. Glad you enjoy it. So I guess we need some CC to kill this boss fast. And get the stun when it's about to do its attack. Well, we are already at the last one. We are quite fast today. I like it. I like it. We are 45 minutes in or something and we already did all the CMs and at the last fractal. It's actually quite nice. I have the most fun with Elementalist, but my top DPS is 10k. Ooh, yeah, I mean, that's obviously, maybe you should give it a try with, let's say, the Golem and try a little bit improve at the Golem, because 10k on Elementalist is definitely not what you want to see. But if you enjoy the class, I think learning a bit more on the Golem and just training the rotation is probably a worthwhile. Yeah. Mech is so easy. It's insane. When I tried mech for the first time, the rival mech, I reached, I think, 39k or something on the first try. It's absolutely insane. It's so good. It's so good. I think you would be dumb if you would not recommend to a new player that Mechanist currently is such a broken build. You should give it a try. Yeah. And doing Cliffside recommended, would join Ice Spirit Saga after that. Perfect. Yeah, we will do that then. I will wait for you. Yeah, don't worry. No, you are on YouTube. You will be fine. It's a YouTube giveaway because I reached the 5k subs on my YouTube channel. So you are on Twitch. You can just get the link to the video. Yeah, on YouTube is the actual giveaway. That's how it is. Sorry, Voyage, for not being more precise there. So don't worry. Just be on YouTube. Check out the video that is in the description of the current stream, and you actually have a chance of winning there. It's very easy. And I give away almost 2.5k gold at this point, and it's climbing up slowly. I fear a little bit for my wallet here, I have to be honest. No. No one opens. Okay, I guess that's fine. That's why I don't like to go for the second one. I always like to go for the first one. Would you gear power or Condi mech first? Fractal strikes raids. I would gear power mech first, because power is more versatile in where you can bring it. And Fractal's power is just straight up better. And in raids and strike missions, for the most part, power is also better. Condi is only really good if you are going for some kind of try-hard group where you really want to reach over 40k DPS, because that's not doable for power mech. Yeah. No, why is someone in fight? Very good. That's my take, yeah. Can a power gear also be used on quickness scrapper? To some extent, yes. I would say to 90% yes. But a few pieces you can't use, but most of the pieces you can. Oh, come on. The archer denying my mistlock. I guess it's fine. Yeah, so I would definitely go for the power one first, because the gear is more versatile and it's actually also more usable in Fractals, for example. In Fractals, you always want to use a power mech. Even in Condi Fractals, power mech is actually really, really good. Yeah, if you don't reach over 40k on the Condi mech anyway, then you would always go for power, actually, because power mech is ranged as well, and that's fine for the most part. You know, you want to play a build that is ranged. You don't want to play a Condi build for the most part. So who is the thing? Is it me? No, it's not me. Okay, good. Whoa, that's a lot of damage. Actually crazy. You die here from the weird damage attack that, what is it? I think no, it's actually just the attack from the boss that actually killed us there. It did 100% of all of our damage because we were stacking. It's actually an interesting mechanic. You never see it if you burst this fight fast enough. We did it anyway. Easy peasy. Now we can go to the Ice Blood Saga strike mission as soon as Echo Fox is done and can join. Was a nice one. 50 minutes. Good. Very good. Very good. Yeah, I wanted to showcase the Quickness Catalyst build, because this is really, Quickness Catalyst is really underrated how good that is, especially for easy content like the strike missions. So I hope I can convince you that it's good, because of course I also have to perform decently to actually make it look good, but I think so, yeah. Welcome, Cyclobusty, welcome, welcome. Yeah, the giveaway is on YouTube. You just have to watch the video and you will know everything how to participate, yeah? Because I want to, let's say, celebrate my 5K subs on YouTube that I just reached, and this is definitely worthwhile. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, yeah. It's a really big milestone for sure. Let's clean the inventory nicely. And why you need 2 pieces of Assassin on Cutter compared to Weaver, who can go full circ? It depends on the Catalyst build. I can actually show you, but on my Catalyst build, I actually don't need those Assassin pieces. So it depends a bit on what kind of build you're going for. Because on Catalyst, if you take the Fire Signet, you get some precision there as well. And if you have Catalyst, gets the stat boni as well by getting an aura, for example. So this can help. But you're right, sometimes you have to take Assassin pieces to actually get to the crit cap if you're not using Accuracy Sigil. Yeah, the superior element on Weaver is the difference maker. But yeah, you're right there. Okay, so let's open this. Always forge your rings, so always not infuse, attune your rings, always attune your ascended rings, because then you get on average a little bit more money back if you salvage them. On average, it's worth it to invest the 25 silver because you will get more back. So I now got around 5 gold, and I would have gotten a little bit less than, let's say, 4.8 gold or something, 4.7 gold out of that if I would have not attuned them first. Thanks for the follow, Sergio. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Where is it? Yeah. And now let's open this. Perfect, I can invite you then. Let's open a squad. Create squad, raid mode, lock it. Let me clean my inventory and then I will set up the squad message. Don't like to have a not clean inventory. That's horrible. Who wants that? Inventory management in Guild Wars 2, best of the game. No, I'm joking. It's could be better. There we go. 100 gold just from opening 1 stack of those. And this one is not worth anything anyway. Okay, let's go to swap to Catalyst. Welcome, Sitsu, welcome. Okay, so what are we doing? We are doing Iceblood Saga, I guess, and maybe also Dragonstorm, if you're up for it, Echo Fox. Just some more gold. A heal, I guess. And hopefully find a decent healer, because I'm not playing heal this time. I think Dragonstorm is if you have the time, should do daily Dragonstorm. You have a chance of getting an infusion, and it's also very, very lucrative just passively, because you get 2 gold, you get some stuff, you can get some, you get Tyrian Defense Seal that you can exchange for those boxes here, and you get some extra materials from that. It's just a nice thing if you have the time, because it gives you just some extra gold on top. But it's obviously taking, let's say, 10 to 15 minutes, so if you don't have the time, it's fine to skip. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of doing the daily strikes after I did them already, because the problem is you don't get the gold anymore. So what do you get from that? A few blue profit shards. I feel like that's not worth it for me as a veteran. I think they should just decrease the amount of gold that you get, and I would do it all of them again. So if it would be like, I don't know, maybe like you get 25 silver or something instead of 1 gold, I would be fine. Nice, we have someone. Let's wait. You have a Alacrity healer, and you are DPS. And then we need another one. Actually, we need Boon heal and Boon DPS. Or are you playing Quickness Scrapper, Echo Fox? If you're playing Quickness, we actually don't need another Quickness DPS. It doesn't really matter. You can play DPS as well if you like it. Okay, I will look for quick DPS then. If it fills, you can go with DPS. If not, you can stay at quick DPS Scrapper. Doesn't really matter. I feel like Scrapper plays almost the same actually. I think that's a really big plus. If you just have a DPS build and swap one trait around, that's really nice actually. Quick heal Firebrand? Yeah, why not? If you want to play it, yeah, sure. Quick heal if you just join the group. If you're online, don't worry. It's too early actually to fill the group quite fast, but as soon as I switch to DPS, it's actually probably quite fast filled anyway. Okay, so we have a quick heal here. Oh wait, we have quick heal. Quick heal is, yeah, okay. Then I guess I can't play Catalyst if you play quick heal. No, it's fine, it's fine. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. That's working. Okay, then you can go DPS, Echo Fox, and we look for one ADPS. Very good. Very good. We have it anyway. Good job. Okay, we have an ADPS, I hope. And let's see how fast it fills if I go to DPS. The classic. The classic. I'm a little bit scared, to be honest, of Bone Skinner when I'm not the healer. But I guess we will see how it goes. If we need more heals, I swap to Quickness, Heal, Catalyst, and we will be fine. That's actually not as fast as I expected. But still good. Ah, there we go. Nice, we have all DPS. Very good. Nice. Yeah, we are currently celebrating my 5k subs on YouTube. So if you want to be a part of that, then just click on the link there and you will be entered in the giveaway if you post a comment under my video there. And are a subscriber, of course. That's the biggest thing. You need to be a subscriber because we celebrate my subscribers. 2.5k gold of giveaway or something like that. So don't miss out on that. Big chance of getting quite nice amount of gold in Guild Wars 2. I'm not very good at jumping passes, so please bear with me if I can't do it in the first try. Try my best here, but I always struggle a bit with jumping. So how do you enjoy the Super Adventure Box? I did not ask that yet on my stream. Do you like the Super Adventure Box Festival? If you're a new player, do you like that, or do you not like that? This jump without quickness, it's horrible. It sucks. Okay, very straightforward, very clear. I hate it. Okay. I see a lot of people don't like it. I guess that's fine. I personally am not the biggest fan either. 2 out of 10. Ooh, okay. We have actually a lot of people that don't like it. Crazy. I would expect, because I think a lot of people actually like it. Yeah. It sucks. I love it. Interesting take. Yeah. I mean, it's not for everyone. That much is true. Very good. So, see if everyone is ready. And then we engage in the fight. Oh no, you do tribulation mode daily? That sounds like a torment. I can imagine. It's not something for me. It sounds horrible. I mean, the bubbles, there is a vendor where you can get a lot of stuff with the bubbles. So I personally would always use the bubbles in some kind of... every time keep the bubbles. I would never not use them. I think don't throw them away. They are actually really, really good. So I personally keep them forever. Yeah. But I mean, maybe you are different there. But I personally would never throwaway stuff that you can exchange for whatever. So the bubbles are really good. There is a vendor in Ratasum outside of the Super Adventure Box where you can exchange them. Yeah. Yeah, apparently a lot of people in chat actually don't like it. Surprising. I personally don't like it either, but I think a lot of people actually in Guild Wars 2 in the community actually enjoy it quite a bit. So it's actually quite interesting that you are, so to say, apparently with me there. I didn't expect that. I almost got you, Echo Fox. I almost got you on Quickness Catalyst. Still learning, still learning. Yeah, it's still ongoing. I think you have time until 5 more days. So until Tuesday. Tuesday it will leave. Yeah, it's typically 3 weeks. Yeah. Which is obviously fine. You know, I'm not sad that it leaves. I have to be honest. Yeah, it's not in the lobby, but it's in Ratasum. Yeah. Thanks for the follow, Tosho. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the stream. No, don't worry. I didn't want to be toxic or anything. I'm just saying Quickness Catalyst is really underrated how much GPS it actually does. It's crazy. Crazy. So, hopefully everyone is ready. I didn't even check my quickness uptime. Should be good though. It's actually quite easy on this build to upkeep quickness. Yeah, you can see it's also, I have decent cleave, so that's nice as well. Oh, did a wrong swap there, but it's fine. To be a bit careful there because we are bursting one and ignoring the other one. If we get stability though, we are fine here. No, almost. Yeah, looks good. I mean, I have to concentrate a bit more than usual for getting all the boons out and getting my damage out, but that's supposed to happen at some point. Oh no, this guy has 1%. Now he's dead. Perfect. Because then we don't have to move. That's why I killed this. But it's fine. Very good job, everyone. Quite clean. I feel like for strike missions, I personally would say if you have the food, I would always go for food because food is always a very good increase in DPS. You don't have to go for the ascended food, of course. You can go for a cheap option that just gives you a few amount of stats. That helps in the end of course as well. But of course, if you want to go to the highest number and compare it to your other kills, for example, I always go for the best food to make sure that it actually is somewhat comparable. But of course, it's also me because of I'm a veteran. I have the goal to spend on food. If you're a new player, I would recommend going for the cheapest option for food that is providing the correct stats. Yeah, always like that. Yeah, as always, if you have any questions as a new player, as a veteran, whatever, let me know. I'm always happy to debate some stuff. Very good. Everyone is ready. I like it. I like it. Oh no, we lost someone to the bug. I really dislike this. This fight is so buggy. It starts in the first second already to being buggy. It's actually crazy. I am always surprised that they didn't fix that yet. The falling bug, or also there are so many bugs. Also the respawning bug. It's actually insane. This fight is I think the buggiest fight in the whole game. I do it almost every day because it's giving you a lot of loot, but it's so buggy. I personally think they should definitely take a look at it again. But sadly, they never do really look back to old instance content for the most part. Nice. This build is so spammy. So if you don't like a spammy build, this is not for you. So this build is very, very spammy. Because you have to switch to your elements. They all have so short cooldowns. It feels very, very... Yeah, just press all your buttons all the time. Which is, if you like that, if you are a player like me that just wants to have some active gameplay, it's a very fun build. But if you are a player that wants to have a little bit slower paced rotation, you should definitely not play this build. It's a fun one. It's also quite strong, as you can see. The damage number, it's really, really good. And it's also, I would say, not too hard to get used to if you enjoy spamming skills. Because there are actually quite a lot of intricacies to make this build even better. But if you just play and press all your buttons, you will have actually decent numbers. We will now get CC'd here, I guess. Yeah, I don't like it. Couldn't provide stability, now I'm stunned for 4 seconds. That's really sad. It's fine, we kill it anyway. Nice. Also, we get the gold reward, I like that as well. And the gold chests. Hopefully. Nice, we did it. Good job. Don't worry if you die here. It happens. Just try to understand why you died here. Don't stand in the hitbox and you will be fine for the most part. So if you stand in the hitbox of the boss when it does its spin attack, you will die instantly. So move out of it and you will be good. Just wait it out until the attack is over. It's really important if you're a new player. Also position yourself correctly with the chains because the chains deal some heavy damage. So always stand next to someone and not behind someone so that the attacks are actually hitting the boss directly and not your ally. Hope I make this somewhat clear. But you will notice it if you're a new player, you will just learn it. Yeah, very good. I like it. I will maybe swap to, I don't know. Will I swap to something different if for Dragonstorm? For Dragonstorm you need a lot of stability typically. I don't really like to play a build that doesn't provide stability as a support on Dragonstorm. So this boss you only attack when you're on melee range, please. Yeah, very good. For the most part, I guess. Okay, very good. So here is stability also helpful. You can jump over the shockwave, so you don't need to actually be having stability, but I feel like having stability makes it even easier. You don't have to jump anyway, so that works as well. But I like to jump just because I want to make sure that I actually... This one you can't jump. Yeah. Yeah, for Dragonstorm I might swap to some other quick DPS build. It can provide a little bit of stability. Yeah, here I actually get my magnetic aura, so I can reflect if people stand on me. I can actually reflect here. That's really cool. Catalyst has some baked-in reflect. I like it. Nice, we have stability again. Very good, I like it. So can I get top DPS? I think not. Oh, I'm top DPS's quickness. That's how I want to see it. No, I'm joking, of course. But it's fine. This is a really good build. It's a really, really fun build as well. And you can see the strength of it. Top DPS as a quickness player. This is saying a lot. Why this build is really, really good. Okay, last one. Bone Skinner before Dragonstorm. Let me hydrate for a sec. We might have some healing problems here. If we do, I swap to Quickness Catalyst. Healing Catalyst. Please don't die to the, you know, use the hammer 3 carefully here, please. I don't want to see you die. That's not what I want. Yeah. I'm currently playing Quickness Catalyst. It's a meta build, provides a lot of quickness, a lot of damage. Is Core Guardian Hammer auto attack build still viable? Yes, it's still decent. I would probably go for DH. It's a little bit more damage, but it's still decent to play Core Guardian with Hammer. Yeah. So this is the build I can show you for Catalyst. This is the build setup. You use full Berserker gear with Dragon Hunter rune. I make a build guide about it very soon, so don't worry. Okay, if everyone is ready, we try it with me as a quickness DPS. If we fail, I will swap to quick heal. Because I never know if our healers are actually decent enough. Okay, no one died to the first slam. That's already a good sign. I like it, I like it. Very good, very good. I mean, 2 people died now to the second slam. I guess that's not a good sign. I guess we will also not get the CC then. It's fine. Ooh, let's touch this one. It's a greedy one, but it's fine, I guess. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we have a few downs. We should rest them before the attack happens. Very good, very good. We get it. We did it. I think we can kill it even though with 2 people down. So decent job on the healing. So if you're a heal firebrand, a new player, that's you're doing a decent job here. You can see this is really a build where you struggle as a healer, because it's actually, if you're playing healer for the first time, this is one of the harder fights to actually learn to play heal here. But if you can do it here, then most fights you actually have enough healing to actually make it work. I saw you died, that's okay, happens. If we redo it here, then I can maybe try healer as well. I feel like half of the party is now dead at this point. A little bit sad. But I guess then what can you do? Then I will answer your question in a second. Just want to make sure that we actually kill this boss here. We did it. Good job. Are normal mode strike missions easy enough to just jump into with no knowledge? Yes, I would say so. Especially Iceblood Saga ones, so the ones that I just did, they are really good. You just jump in, play some kind of meta build that makes sense, and then you will be good. Yeah. Yeah, so done raids, just never looked at strikes. I mean, if you've done raids already, then you will be even better. Even better. Then you don't have a big problem at all. Because raids, I would say, are harder than strike missions for the most part, at least in normal mode. So we lost 1 DPS. That's fine. Let's look for 1 DPS. There we go. I think strike missions are like just one encounter raid fights. That's how you have to imagine them. I think raid fights have more mechanics typically bound to them, which is not a big problem for new players because you don't have to do all the mechanics all at once. But of course, it's a little bit harder to learn than strike missions, where typically, especially in Iceblood Saga ones, there is no mechanic that you need to deal with. You just play it and you will get the kill, even if you're new and you didn't do it before. Yeah. Is private Dragon Stand with only 10 people? No. You can do it, as far as I know, as a 50-person squad as well. But why would you? It would only upscale it, and it will probably lead to you taking longer for the same content. So you typically do it as a 10-person squad, and you will be fine. Yeah. That's my recommendation. If you do it in public instance, you will always get to the 50-person thing. Yeah. There are a few things that work like that, but typically I would say you always, especially for example for bounties and stuff in open world, you would always like to have as many people as you need to kill it, yeah, but as little amount of people as you can get, because as you increase the number of people for content like this that scales in Guild Wars 2, the number of people that are actually doing enough DPS to outvalue their, so to say, upscaling is actually surprisingly low. So typically keep that in mind. You want to have as little people as possible and as much as you need, if that makes sense. And that's true for all stuff that is somewhat scaling. In Guild Wars 2 at least. This build is so spammy. It's actually insane. I don't want to know how many buttons per minute I actually press here. It's actually crazy. It's really fun. I like it because I'm a veteran. I played this instance for, I don't know, 250 times already or something like that, or maybe even more, maybe 400 or something, because I do them almost daily. But if you play a build like that, it gets exciting again. Yeah, I will do the thing in a second. Just want to kill the boss. I can't write, sadly, while I play this build. There's just too much happening on the screen. On my piano that I'm playing here. And the stability uptime is good, I like it. Whoever is supporting here, good stability uptime, I like it. Yeah. I mean, my DPS is also surprisingly high, I have to be honest. It's actually insane. I'm almost top DPS again. Even though I'm just learning the build, you know. If I would be, you know, very experienced on this build, I probably would even be top DPS, which is insane to me that a quick DPS has so much damage. I think they should definitely decrease the amount of damage that the offensive supporters deal. That's my personal take on the balance matter, because I feel like they already provide so much for the group. Yeah. Curious, you hit 2k gold and are doing a giveaway. You're giving away 2k gold, or you're doing a giveaway worth 2k gold. So I'm doing a giveaway that is worth over 2k gold, and I'm hit 5k subs on YouTube. That's why I'm doing the giveaway. That's my celebration, so to say. So I hope I got that clear and you understand now. And you just have to check out my YouTube video in the link, and you can actually win there as well. So Echo Fox, I saw you had the message earlier, or the question, if I can check if someone is a subscriber on YouTube. I have a special method there. I don't want to share it, but I have a special one. Don't worry. It's actually, I want to only have people that are actually subscribers win, because that's obviously something I want to give you as a subscriber something back, and not on YouTube I'm talking about, not Twitch, and not someone that is actually randomly coming to my video and giving them gold. I want someone that is actually supporting my channel. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. If you already saw the video, then you will be good. Yeah, someone is actually wrong here. Who is it? I don't know. I guess I will go. So typically, I mean, then the other quickness support is the problem. I mean, I came now here, I guess. That's I came to the boss, but typically you want to read the chat message before you go to a boss here. and don't go to just a random fight, because we split here 5-5, and if you don't split correctly, it takes longer than necessary. Thanks, Moerte, for the follow and channel, Yuki. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Nice, very good. So after that, I wanted to play some PvP. I wanted to try out some really crazy old builds and want to see if they're still working. So let's see if I can make that work, or if PvP is dead at this time of day. I don't hope so. But I feel like PvP in Guild Wars 2 is really, if you play PvP, you're in for a wild ride. That much is for sure. There's just too little amount of people playing, sadly. It's really PvE, and World vs. World in Guild Wars 2 are actually quite decent in the population. But in PvP, you really feel that there are just not that many people playing it. Which is really sad, because it's a really, really fun game mode, I have to say. Okay, we are already done with it. Very nice. Good job. Well, I think it's one more time. Yeah, one more time. Okay. Nice. I like my cleave. I liked it. It's actually really fun to play. And you see a lot of numbers with this build. It's actually really fun. A lot of hits. And just a very fun build to play. If you're Elementalist enjoyer, this build is really good. Be sure to give it a try, actually. Can approve. Can approve this one. We are way out DPSing the others, so I will leave again. Maybe because we are 6 people. No, this time it was correct, I feel like. Nice, we did it. It's that issue that old multiplayer games have. If you jump on Halo 1 to 3 right now, only decent veterans are playing. So you just get dumpstered as a new player giving a go. Yeah, I think that's a big problem. That's why PvE and World vs. World are way more commonly played, because the new players can get into this game mode without really getting destroyed. But in PvP, it's like there are only a handful of players, so to say, left. And those players are just really good at the game mode. And if you queue against them because the population is so low, as a new player, you will lose. And your, let's say, view of the game mode is like, oh, this game mode is shit. I queue against people that are way better than me. How can I actually learn the game? Yeah. And then you will not come back to it. And that's a big problem. So the PvP scene will never recover from that. And I think that's the truth for WoW PvP, even Final Fantasy PvP, all of that. They have the same problem. That just, it's not really good enough for new players to get into. And I feel like that's why Guild Wars 2 PvE is really popular right now, open world especially, and World vs. World to some extent as well. But PvP, it will never recover. Even if they introduce a new game mode, I think, like with Push, they will introduce it, I think, in May. I think at 20th or so, 20th of May or something, they will reintroduce Push. And it's not very likely that we actually get a big influx in new players for a long time. It will just be a few weeks and then it's gone. It's really sad. I really would like to do that, to have more PvP action going, because I enjoy it. It's really fast and really fun. But it's just, there is not enough happening right now. It's really sad. Yeah. But if you have any questions, comments, let me know. Always happy to debate stuff here. Thanks for the follow, Another Legend. Really appreciate it as well. So what do we want to do? I wanted to test some... Where is it? Please let me know if the music is too loud, if my voice is too low, silent, too quiet. Please let me know. So I wanted to test the old school Mirage build. Sounds good? Nice. Thanks, Levry. Really appreciate the follow. So in the last fight, when the boss splits up, I went same side as the other quickness giver. So in the first one, yes, I was the quickness giver, and you should check your subgroup. So if you're in subgroup 2, then you should go where the subgroup 2 is supposed to go. So if there in the chat is 2 fire, 3 ice, you would, with the subgroup 2, you would go to ice. Wasn't the case, but that's how it is. So always check your subgroup for that fight. I heard PvP is also not really worth getting into with the gold value. Yeah, that's true. PvP in Guild Wars 2 is not like you get rich with it. Yeah, that's just accept it. You will not get rich with it. And yeah, I mean, it's okay in terms of how much money you get, but you will not get rich. And if you are a casual player, at least. If you are really try-hard player, and let me check if I have the trades set up. If you are a try-hard player, you can play automated tournaments, especially the monthly one, and you will get a decent amount of gold. But you have, of course, to be really, really good and get in the higher ratings here to get decent amount of gold. Because 500 gold plus 100 Mystic coins, that's a lot of money per month, just playing for 2 hours or something, yeah? But of course, you have to be quite good in PvP to actually achieve that number. Because if you are playing in PvP ranked and stuff, you will not get that far. So sadly, I think PvP, you play it for the fun, and you get it somewhat, let's say 10 gold per hour or something, but it will not be insane. You will not sit there and say, oh, I'm playing PvP and I will be rich and get the legendary next week. That's not very likely, yeah? So I think personally I play PvP because I have the mentality of having fun while still trying to improve my gameplay, yeah? I always try to be a better Guild Wars 2 player, just in general. I try to be a better human in that sense, in every single aspect, and that helps me to keep going. But I would not say play PvP for the gold. That's just, you will not win because of that. You have to have fun, you have to improve, and that's it. Yeah. Or hope everyone else is AFK and win with subpar performance. Yeah, I guess you can do that as well. I guess that's true, but it's not that likely, to be honest. I have to be honest, the amount of people that are AFKing in my games right now is actually really low. So we have a Spectre. Okay, this is a matchup I don't really like to see, but I guess it's fine. I mean, they have a decent amount of oh, come on. I actually win this 1-on-1. Crazy. How can I win this? Easy. No, not really, but still decently enough. Now we let them bleed. So mean. I doubt the average Guild Wars 2 player thinks like you, unfortunately. Those players are playing Dota, CS. Yeah, I think that's the sad truth, yeah. I think that's not only true for Guild Wars 2. I think that's also true for all PvP, all, let's say, MMOs, because players that are playing MMOs are typically not the same players that are playing competitively. Typically, you play competitive games like Dota, like League of Legends, like CSGO, you know, those games you play when you are interested in competitive gameplay. But you're not playing an MMO for competitive gameplay typically. You play them because you want to see your number increase, you know, you're getting your gear score higher or something like that. Or the confusion burst. The looks. Yeah, so that's the sad part about PvP MMOs. I think if they are not only PvP, and even then I think it might not be completely the easiest part here. He's jumping too much. Nice, we got him. I play him almost for cool fashion and combat. Yeah, I guess that's a lot of people actually do that. Yeah. And there's always a couple good teams at least, or one Giga got one and everyone is mediocre. Yeah, exactly. I can try to burst the Spear Holosmith. This is actually a really good target here. Oh, he dodged my burst. No, 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 no. We get the rally here, I guess. Oh, he dodged my stun or my CC. Sad. I will catch up in chat after this match. It's actually quite fun right now. Too much Condi pressure. Sad, sad, sad. I played against Sugar Crush a few times. They were good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you play against a game, let's say a decent team that also contests in just monthly ATs and stuff, you will probably lose as the average gamer. Just because, especially if you play against 55 or Team USA on NA, it's impossible for the average player to win against those people. It's just not doable. Yeah, and that's just sad, and I feel like that's the case for all MMOs, because there's just a few people that stick to the game for decades or years at least, and then you will not be able as a new player to actually get into the game and kill them in a fair fight. It's just not gonna happen. Ooh, the damage. I don't want to fight against the Stealth Soul Beast. I also don't want to fight against the Holosmith. Thought I got the juke. Dodge, let me dodge. Ugh. Living on the edge. Ooh. Scary, scary, very scary. Let me out of combat. Even then, more casual. I feel like after playing like 7 MMO games and a few full PvP games, MMO gamers more chill, same players more chill when they log into Guild was too complete when they play LoL. Yeah, I guess that's the case. I think that's why it doesn't work like that typically. An MMO player is more chill, interested in the chill gameplay, and not something that is absolutely crazy in competitive, I would say. Maybe he wants the revenge for the kill earlier. If I had the trade, actually, it's so sad. If I had the trade, I would be completely fine. You know, if I had this trade instead of this one. I was thinking about swapping, but then I didn't see that the Spectre was actually fighting against me all the time. Because then I would be completely fine. Every dodge, every Mirage Cloak I get would cleanse Condis. It's obviously absolutely crazy. So sad. Thanks for the follow, Autumn. Really appreciate it. And also Dark Soundclus. Really, really, really appreciate it. Ooh, the Condis. Ticking. Got him. Ooh, 10 confusion tech? Juicy. Yeah, there is a shortcut for that It's called snap ground target to current target. If you have that shortcut enabled, you will always cast all your skills versus on the target itself. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, so that can be useful. Yeah. To be fair to Guild Wars 2, the combat system is both amazing but quite deep. PvP in most MMOs like Retail, WoW, ISO, etc. is just easier to be good. Yeah, that's true. I think that's a big point that you bring up there. I think that makes it very fun to me to play Guild Wars 2 PvP because it's so fast-paced and it's very deep and very action-heavy. I feel like other MMOs don't have that. That might be a big thing why it's just different, yeah. But I still feel like World versus World is more the game mode that is supposed to be in MMOs. Something that is open world where you can have some gear differences and not something that is actually very fair. And a classical PvP fair fight in an MMO is typically against the MMO mindset. You know, in an MMO, you want to get better gear. You want to put effort into your gear to actually kill something. But PvP is the opposite. In PvP, you want to have a fair fight and you will kill the enemy by actually being better than them, which is never something that comes hand in hand with the gear. Yeah. What would you recommend to play in PvP? Mainly looking for a class that can cleave and deal a lot of damage from range. Currently, I would play my Spear Herald build. I have a guide about it on my YouTube channel. It's really good. It's extremely strong. It has crazy good cleave. It can deal damage from range with the spear. And it's just very mobile as well. I have a build guide on my YouTube channel. But it's really, really fun to play. It's just very, very good. Yeah. Yeah, my inventory is that was my storage character for Ascended Dust, Bloodstone Dust, and that kind of stuff. Yeah. I can play one version of this Revenant build. I can show it to you. It's really good. I'm not even thinking of a game that is not an MMO that has a system like Guild Wars 2, really diverse, fast, and deep. Yeah, I think it's actually, that's why I come back to Guild Wars 2 whenever I play another MMO or stuff, because I feel like the gameplay or the combat, how it works, is so unique and so good in Guild Wars 2. It's actually really hard to find a game that is, it doesn't even have to be an MMO, that comes close in combat. Yeah. I don't know. It's really hard. ESO was so easy to make builds, be able to perma block. I like the CC system availability and stun breaks in Guild Wars 2 a lot better. It's more tactical. Yeah, I think they actually did a really good job when they designed Guild Wars 2 at the beginning to make a decent amount of stun breaks and a decent amount of skills that CC, but the ability to say stun lock someone after they use their stun break is still there without making it completely obnoxious that someone is always stunned for 5 seconds. I feel like this is something that I never want to see. I want to have the option to outplay someone by layering CC in a smart way, but not always hitting the CC or not always, so to say, being guaranteed to layer the CC, you know, if you know what I mean. So for example, if I play a build that has 3 CC skills, yeah, if I use them all in conjunction with each other, the enemy can outplay me by using the stun break in the last CC, for example, or using the stun break they have in the first CC and dodging the other 2s after that, yeah. But I can outplay them by using one stun break, one stun on them. They stun break it, then they dodge. I know that they will do it. I wait a bit and then use my stun break or my stuns on them. They don't have a stun break and they will die to it. I feel like this is really cool that you can, those mind games can be done. And this is really cool. But I feel like they really had to keep that in mind, and the balancing has to be always like that. If they always introduce a new skill, make a rework to a skill, they always have to think about that for PvP as well. And that's why I would also advocate for not having PvP at all in Guild Wars 3 if it comes out, because they have so much balance to do right now in Guild Wars 2. If they would do another game that they would have to balance for PvP, World versus World and PvE, for example, they will not be able to do that. They would just cut one game out. And I think it's very likely that this will be PvP. Yeah. I wish they would give it more love. I'm completely with you there, Sky. But I feel like this is not something that I would expect them to do just because of the player base. It's so low, the player base. Yeah. I mean, the skills which give you 10 stack stability become a must-have. I run away for 10 seconds until I ran out. I cannot get 10 CCs in a rotation. Yeah, fair, fair. Throne and Liberty had no excuse to have so bad CC system for a game that came last year. They should have just copied combat CC system from Guild Wars 2, also monetization and battle pass. I think Throne of Liberty did a lot of mistakes. It was such, let's say, hyped up game, and I feel like it could have been way better if they just made the combat less clunky and the CC stuff and also the monetization. But it's after all, I think, is it not balanced by NCSoft as well? I'm not sure. I think so. It's just the publisher was not that good at as well, and it was out before in Korea anyway, so it's not a game that was completely redone or completely from scratch. You know, it was always some kind of already existing game that just published in the West as well. Okay, no one is here. Okay, there. Let's go for an Untamed 101, I guess, then. Is it a... What is this? No, it's... what? It's a Spear Untamed, I guess. Ooh. Actually a nice 101, I like it. Yeah, but now I get him. Yep. Wizard's World is so good. Yeah, I think it's the optimal way of actually introducing a battle pass to the game. I think it's the perfect battle pass, actually. Yeah. Oh, my whole team died. That's what we want to see. There are 3 people here. I have to be really, really careful here. There are rumors that that Throne at Liberty was the Guild Wars 3 prototype. I hope not. I hope not, because the combat is so clunky. It's actually insane. I really dislike the combat of Throne of Liberty. I would actually never play hardcore in Throne of Liberty because of that. I would just be annoyed by the combat all the time. Do I need provisioner tokens for legendary runes? I'm not sure. I think you do, but I'm not completely sure. Actually, I am not 100% sure, sadly. It was such a long time since I did it. I'm not completely sure about it. Yeah, I would agree, actually. I really hope that they are currently working on Guild Wars 3 and they will release it maybe in 3 to 5 years. That would be amazing. Yeah. I'm new to the game. What's the best expansion to build after 80? I would probably go with End of Dragons or Heart of Thorns. Those 2 are probably the best ones. Yeah. You can just check the wiki, Sky, if you're unsure. Or whoever asked for the runes. Why is everyone stealthing? It's annoying. Oh, that was a close call. Holy shit. How many people are there? Ugh, come on, let me move. Welcome, Gosek. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, a new arena and MMO on Unreal Engine could be hard. I mean, could go hard. I would say people are rumoring about Guild Wars 3 being developed in Unreal Engine 5. And if that's the case, I'm not sure if it's crazy good for an MMO. I'm not a developer, I can't tell you. But I feel like just having a new engine is probably the best they can do, because the Guild Wars 2 engine feels a little bit lackluster, at least in what new content they can put out with it. So I really hope they do it. I'm not sure if they would ever do it. Yeah. Holy shit, this is a massacre here. I guess I will go on this guy. I try to. Oh, come on. If they would announce Guild Wars 3, I'd instantly order some 100 euro collector's edition. I would not even watch what it was in it. Just take my money. I would do the same, but I think it's actually quite unlikely that they will announce it soon, because the problem is, if they announce Guild Wars 3, even if they currently develop it, it would probably be years out. You know, you can't make a game from scratch, especially MMO, and bring it out in the next year. You know, it takes years to develop. So as soon as they announce it, the numbers in terms of money they get from Guild Wars 2 will drop, because people will not invest in a game that is, so to say, getting a successor. Yeah. And that's why I would say it's quite likely actually that they will just wait for it for very long as they can, until they release the real game at some point. This guy just died in my cleave. I wanted to go on the ranger and I killed the necromancer as well. Very fun. I mean, it's not lost, the game. It's a really close one, but it's not lost. I guess I go far. Okay, I guess if you say Unreal Engine is the way to go, I'm not an expert. Then I hope they do it. Let's see if that's the case, you know. They stealth again? Holy shit, I think everyone in the enemy team stealths when I cast my free skill. It's actually crazy. Oh, the pet is killing me. If Guild Wars 3 was first just on PC, they could iron out performance issues. I think they should do it, actually. I think they should actually exactly do that. Oh, come on. He had the unblockable one up. Yeah. No, now I'm dead. I mean, I bought some seconds. Just wanted to die on point here. They could make Guild Wars 3 a different type of game, so 2 still has appeal. Yeah, I think that's... there are two options. Either they make it a Guild Wars 2 clone, just with a better engine, and say, okay, we have a better engine, we can push out more content, it's more modern, so to say. Or they make it the completely opposite and say, we make a completely different game. Maybe we make an ARPG or something, not an MMO at all anymore. And this is, so to say, yeah, running in tandem with the Guild Wars 2 as an open world PvP MMO. Yeah. Stuff like that. I'm not completely sure. I think it's highly dependent on what they actually feel like it's the best thing to market. If they do make a Guild Wars 3, I like if the legendary armor will be linked. I think they will never do a new game that has already linked stuff to that you already have unlocked. I think that's just not very likely. They want to have you grind again all the stuff. They don't want you to have stuff already unlocked when the game comes out. It's just very unlikely in my opinion. That's my take. Maybe I'm completely wrong there, but I personally think that's the way to go. Okay. Get some nice damage here on the guys. Nice, we get the rally. Oh, there's another one. Ooh. This is not a good match to showcase this build, sadly. My team is 3-capping the node. Sad. I tried my best. I'm way more excited to hear about Guild Wars 2 expansion than anything Guild Wars 3. I mean, I agree. I think we know nothing about the Guild Wars 2 expansion that will come out in October. So I really hope they will actually give me some news to talk about as a content creator, because I feel like that's definitely something that I don't like really, about having no news and can't talk about anything new. I really hope that they will introduce some kind of hype up stages, you know, for the upcoming months, I guess. Yeah. I've heard that all the paid skins from Path of Exile 1 carry over to Path of Exile 2. How about something like that? Exactly. I think they should add some skins in Guild Wars 2. That, not all of them, but a big part of skins from Guild Wars 2 should carry over to Guild Wars 3. And you should get some crazy titles in Guild Wars 2 for completing stuff. And those titles then should carry over. That's how they should do it. Nothing that changes the gameplay. So no legendary or something goes over. Maybe the skin, but not the legendary itself. That would be really good. I would like that. I agree. I mean, in business, you mostly only make big profit with big risks. My consultation would be that they go all in Guild Wars 3 and do the same they have done to Guild Wars 2 as Guild Wars 1. Just maintenance mode forever with no content updates. Yeah, I think that's what they will do. But they will keep Guild Wars 2 on some kind of, let's say, maintenance mode with those expansions that they currently release every year. So to say, smaller expansions to keep money coming in. Yeah. Every food works. This one, the apple one, nourishment, is just a food effect. So every food that is a food on the trading post is marked as an apple. And every consumable, I will show you, that is under the utility effect here on the trading post is actually with the wrench. The food has the apple and the utility effect is the wrench. If they give info to content creators, we can buy the item through links to them, so they would be rewarded. Yeah, that would be crazy good. And I would really like that. Sadly, I'm not an ArenaNet partner yet. I really hope they will at some point give me an ArenaNet partner. But, oh my god. That's a lot of people. Yeah, run away. Let me move. Okay, I'm dead now. How did that hit me, actually? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You got cosmetics from playing for getting achievement in Guild Wars 1, and I think they should exactly do the same with the Hall of Monuments for Guild Wars 3 as well. That's the same. Yeah, definitely. I would love the raid heavy armor skin to transfer to Guild Wars 3. Yeah, something like that. Something that is prestigious in Guild Wars 2 to some extent. And you would like to have the skin of it in Guild Wars 3, so that you would find people that play Guild Wars 2 until Guild Wars 3 is coming out to actually get the skins in Guild Wars 3. That would be amazing. Yeah. The best thing about the Unreal Engine is that whenever a new version comes out in the future, it's just easy switch, so the game would still have the best possible graphics forever. Yeah, that would be amazing. If that's really working like you say it is, that would be amazing. I would love that. I'm not sure if Arena thinks the same, or if they just say, okay, we do the engine once and that's it. But it would be really good. Looked like a guild doing the guild business. Yeah, I mean, I had no chance to win this with one other person here. It's not gonna happen. But I mean, I'm always I die fighting, you know, that's how I play Guild Wars 2, World versus World. I try to fight and win as much as I can, even if I'm outnumbered. Yeah. When you start Guild Wars 3 and new starter zone and everything has the Soto legendary, everyone. I mean, personally, I think it should be like it shouldn't be crazy 100 skins or something. It just should be some weapon skin, maybe some really crazy cool armor skin. But that's it. Maybe a title. I wouldn't go really hard on it. That it's absolutely insane. Everyone has it. I feel like that's too much, but I think it should be something that at least keeps people playing. So for example, if you have, I don't know, all the Oreen legendaries or something, you get a title in the next game as well. Because that would make it so that people actually think, holy shit, I want to start out with a cool title in Guild Wars 3. I invest some time into Guild Wars 2. You don't want to have people quitting Guild Wars 2 because they say it's a dead game because there will be a sequel. That's not what you want. You want to have people playing until the last minute or even longer, like with Guild Wars 1, leave it running forever. Why not? I feel like that's how it should be. Yeah. I hope they use different mechanics for it though, since cannot link Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 for Steam. Yeah, definitely. I think they should definitely take a look at that and say, okay, we did a mistake there with the Steam stuff. We will always do the Steam stuff instantly at first. You can create a, let's say, Steam account for Guild Wars 3 at launch and it will work perfectly. That's how it should be in my opinion. I think that's such a big platform. Why not have that? Yeah. I'm just trying a new build, by the way, here. I just want to see if that works or if that's just total garbage. Yeah, but I personally really hope that they will announce Guild Wars 3 maybe later this year at some point, maybe next year, and just say, you don't worry, Guild Wars 2 will be still developed or something. That would be cool, but I highly doubt it. I think it takes years until the announcement. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the numbers are really cool. If you look at this, over 3 seconds of chill, yeah, that sounds quite disgusting with every shot. I want to test if this build as a Condi build works or if I have to go power, because I personally think Power Reaper is quite bad. Only in roaming it works. In PvP and world versus world in general, I think it's not that good. I think for roaming it works decently well, and in Circ play, of course, it's really good if you have a support, but typically you don't in roaming, so I don't want to go with a Power Reaper. I want to try Condi because it's actually not a lot of people play a full Condi Reaper in roaming. Yeah, gotta have Steam for Guild Wars 3 definitely at launch, but doubt we will see it before 3 to 5 years, as soon as you said. Yeah, exactly. I think it's quite unlikely that we will see Guild Wars 2 before Guild Wars 3 coming out before, just random number, 3 years. I think it's definitely the must amount of years that they have to develop. 3 more years for sure. If they started, let's say 1 year ago or something, they need probably 5 years in total to develop a new MMO with a new engine. And then it will probably still release with way less content than MMOs that are already established, like WoW, like Guild Wars 2, like Final Fantasy, like Elder Scrolls. It's very unlikely that they will actually compete in the content amount, which is fine if the combat is fun. If the combat is lackluster and somewhat, yeah, not very well done, then we have a problem. Then we will not find enough people to actually play it. But if the combat is somewhat similar to Guild Wars 2, I feel like even if the content is not that crazy big in the amount, we will still get decent amount of player numbers. Yeah. I get dropped faster than a beat when I try roaming with Power Reaper. Yeah, I think Power Reaper is sadly not, it needs some help. In competitive modes, Power Reaper, if you don't have a support, you just are too weak and your damage is okay, but other classes have just way better damage. If you look at Herald, if you look at Renegade and Herald and Willbender rather, I meant, this is actually, the damage on a Power Reaper is sadly not the highest. Yeah. Maybe I can get a fair 101 without having, let's say, 5 people jump on me. I really look for a fair 101 to see if this build is actually working or if I'm just coping too much on this one. Thanks for the follows, by the way, Samsung, Sakarum, and Dagita. Really appreciate the support. I feel like this matchup is actually insane. This week's matchup is like, either I'm fighting against a full circle of players or there is no one. Absolutely no one running around. It's actually crazy this week. It's so matchup dependent. Sometimes you find some really nice one-on-ones and stuff, but this week it feels like there is only at least 2 or 3 people in a in some kind of small group roaming and I can't kill them. It's crazy. They might have a trick up their sleeve and make something new and maybe innovative, like an ARPG. Yeah, I think that would be cool. I personally think making an ARPG would be, if it's really well done and has some cool, really unique things about it, I think that would be a really good thing, because you still have Guild Wars 2 as an MMO then, if you want to play it. And if you're more of a solo player, you would play the ARPG Guild Wars 3. Yeah. I play Condi, so I personally think playing Condi with staff is crazy good, because you have so much range pressure, you have a Condi transfer, and you have a very aggressive weapon set already with Scepter. And if you have something defensive with ranged on staff, it's really good. If you play power, maybe you don't go, maybe you would swap it for a spear or something like that. But on a Condi build, I feel like it's really good. Yes, I know it's a slow weapon, but I personally think it's just, if you look at the PvP build, you have so much sustain by having staff, because you can pressure people from ranged. You have a ranged interrupt, you know, stuff like that. It's amazing. And it's just the transfer in PvP and World vs. World, it's insane. The value on a Condi build, where you already get value from having Condis here with those skills, especially with the chill as well on a Condi Reaper, and having a transfer that actually can completely destroy other Condi builds. It's a really good one. But I feel like of course you have to get used to staff, because it's slow. It's not a fast-paced weapon like a spear. Yeah, definitely. So are power builds generally better than Condi? I think that's a tough question. Currently, yes, because currently there's no down stand and everyone is trying to one-shot you. Yeah, so the people are just all playing power builds and want to one-shot you, but that's only a few more days. I think tomorrow actually it leaves. Yeah, so that's, in general, I would say you can go two routes with builds. You can go a tanky Condi build, like Celestial, like Trailblazer, like Ritualist, or you can go an offensive build like Marauder. Yeah, those two type of builds exist. Is it better, one of or the other? Is a little bit matchup dependent. Sometimes you have matchups where I would say, oh, a Willbender loses completely really hard to a Condi build like this. Yes. But if you have, for example, another build that is crazy in amount of cleanse, so for example a Marauder Catalyst, then a power build is better. So it's very matchup dependent. So currently roaming is like, either you play very aggressive power build or you play a really tanky Condi build or Celestial build. So these are the two options. I feel like in between doesn't really work that much, which is sad, because there are so many gear stats in Guild Wars 2, but you just don't use 3 or 4 sets. Yeah. I personally think a revamped version of Guild Wars 2 with a better graphics and ability to cope with more people on a single server would be ideal Guild Wars 3. Yeah, I hope that if they go for the route that they will do a clone of Guild Wars 2, just a better one, that would be my, so to say, hope, that it will be exactly like that. Just a better game, a more modern game of Guild Wars 2. Yeah. So it's just like a relaunch of Guild Wars 2 with just improved gameplay and improved servers and stuff. But I feel like there is also a big argument to be made to just say, okay, we want to completely do a new game. That's completely different, like an ARPG with a lot of procedurally generated content or stuff like that. Could also be the case. I don't know. Depends a bit. Yeah. And I think they could more easily do updates for an ARPG. For sure. I think an ARPG is way easier to design than an MMO. Not in terms of, I don't want to say an ARPG is easily made. I'm just saying in comparison to an MMO, you can upkeep the amount of content for it, I think, way easier than for an MMO. Because look at Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 has World vs. World. It has the PvP. It has instance content. It has open world. And you have to please so many different types of players to just keep you actually somewhat people interested in the game. If you make an ARPG, you just have one type of player for the most part, and you have to please them. That's actually doable, yeah. But having 3 to 7 different aspects of a game to cover, it's insane. So I definitely see why they could go for that in the future, yeah. When it comes to World vs. World PvP, how much of a difference does Legendary Ascended Armor have over Exotic realistically? So on stats, on paper, you get 10% more. Yeah, but I would say in reality, if you play decently well, you probably notice a difference almost to 0%. I would say. If I play exotic gear and fight against someone that has ascended gear, and I am playing as my usual, let's say, understanding of the game because I played it so much, and they are just a little bit of a newer player, I probably still win. So I would say the difference in world versus world is actually rather small, especially in a Cirque. In a Cirque, there is no difference at all because you have possibly 40, 50 other people around you. It doesn't matter at all for that. So, and for PvP, Otterish, you have the gear is, so to say, standardized. Everyone has the same stats. It doesn't matter what kind of gear you equip. It's always the same stats. Yeah. Yeah, see you, Malison. See you. Have a nice day. Yeah, currently there are a lot of ARPGs going out. So I feel like it would be a bad time to actually release a new one just because of the competition currently. But I feel like it's also a lot of people are interested in it. Yeah. So could be both sides of the argument. Yeah. My build is Circa Untamed for survival. I got Carnivore, Forest Fortification, and around Hammer, Mace. Yeah, that sounds like a perfect build, yeah. But an Elementalist and he just out-sustained my burst damage. How did he do that? Typically, Elementalist in roaming is extremely strong right now. It's crazy. I think Elementalist is probably one of the best classes to play in roaming because you have so much flexibility in builds that you can play. And if you play a tanky Catalyst or something like that, or Dagger build in general, you have a lot of sustain. Ooh, let's go. 101. Nice, dodge the Warhorn. Let me concentrate here. I want to have a fair 101 and I want to win it, actually. I want to showcase this build is actually capable of winning here. Is this a power one? I don't even know. Is this a power or Condi one? Wait for the dodge. Okay, I guess he doesn't want to dodge. Fear chaining? I think this is a power one. I think he does no damage. That means he's a power one. You see, the transfer here was really nice. Now I kill him because of that. I guess he has blood magic. That's a little bit... Is he playing blood magic and death magic? No, he's just playing death magic. And he resustained. That's a problem. I don't have enough resustain actually to win this. I think maybe. Actually, this is actually giving me a decent amount of sustain. No. The infinite 101. Nice, I dodged the spear 4. Now he's disengaging. Oh, come on. Just stop. Stop running. I mean, I can kill him because I have range and he doesn't. The infinite 101. Classical world versus world gameplay. You just have infinite tanky builds. I think now I have him. No, never mind. He has the condis. Oh, never mind. Nice, we did it. Finally. The gaming world is crying out for an update to an MMO that people care enough about to put their hours in. I agree. But the problem is, and that's a really big problem with MMOs, you are competing against Elder Scrolls, World of Warcraft, even Guild Wars 2 and Final Fantasy. Those MMOs that are out for over 10 years. Yeah, you're competing against them. If you release a new MMO, people expect the new MMO to have somewhat close amount of content to those 10-year-old MMOs or even older. It's just impossible to release a new MMO that is actually having the same amount of content as those games. It's impossible. So why do people expect it? Just because people always expect to be like that, you know? And that's really sad, because then you will have MMOs that you play and they will just not come out unfinished. They will be either just very small and you just have to wait for more content, and people, especially the developers, are pushed to push them out earlier. which is obviously a big problem. You want to have a finished MMO and not something that is somewhat on the way of getting finished. It's really bad. So I feel like you are fighting against the, so to say, mindset of the consumers. And I would really like to have, for example, thanks for the applause. Thanks, really appreciate it. And, oh, we get a nice 101. Again, let's see. Interesting dodge. And interesting stunt break, to be honest. Is it a Celestial Harbinger? I feel like I don't get any power damage or Condi damage from this guy. Just, it tickles me. I mean, I also don't do that much damage to him, I guess. Maybe he's playing something different. I will get back to the discussion after this 101. I just want to have a nice 101 here. CC chaining like a maniac. What a 101. Two noodles hitting each other, I guess. I think he's playing some kind of power variant of Harbinger, but he loses every time against this. Sadly, it's normal for a human to expect a finished product. Consumers are not used to the continuous integration of content when a new MMO releases. It's a simple software development concept to bring a minimum viable product. Yeah, exactly. And that's a big problem in my opinion. Because I feel like if the people would accept that we get just, you can't develop a MMO that is 10, let's say, years old in a year. That's just not happening. You can't create enough content for that. Let's say, it's just impossible. You would need, I don't know, 10,000, even more developers going for that MMO for a year. It's just impossible to make an MMO that big in that amount of time. Sadly, you know, sadly. Yeah, Throne of Liberty does okay because it was some kind of a game that already existed before. You know, it's not like a game that was completely built from scratch. It was already released at the Eastern community. So Korea and stuff had it earlier. So there was already a game. It's not like it was developed from scratch. But yeah, I get what you mean. You can make it work, but sadly it's not the typical way. A lot of MMOs that come out, look at New World and stuff, they came out, people play it and quit after a few weeks. Which is sad. You'd want to have an MMO that actually keeps their player base for years. Even grows them, yeah. I get that, but if you can clone the gameplay of Guild Wars 2 as the third of the content with a clear expansion timeline, but a more up-to-date look, I think that people would 100% put the time in. Yeah, of course, for sure. I would totally agree with that. And yeah, I think the population of Throne of Liberty is actually decent. It's shrunk by a big amount of players still since launch, but I feel like the amount of players that still play it is decent enough. Guild Wars 2 has, I would say, way more consistent player numbers though. Yeah. Which is a good thing as well. I think Guild Wars 2 is a lot of people, at least as me as a content creator, I get a lot of new players asking stuff about the game. So I feel like the game is actually getting new players interested in it, even though it's over a decade old, which is a good thing. And I hope that if Guild Wars 3 will ever come out and it's an MMO, I feel like they actually have a really good chance of making a good game because they already made, let's say, the impossible happen. That they made a game like Guild Wars 1 that was really loved, and they then were able to create a sequel to it that was even better performing in that sense. So in my opinion, it's actually ArenaNet is the company to make this work, actually, to make another MMO out of already existing one. No other MMO. Tell me one MMO that actually had a prequel to it that already was some kind of MMO. I think I don't know any. Or at least not by not thinking about it for too long. I feel like Guild Wars 2 has gotten a lot of good word of mouth since the pandemic that didn't exist before. Yeah, maybe. I'm not completely sure about how much stuff it was involved in there because I always played Guild Wars 2 and I didn't really look at other people's opinion on Guild Wars 2 for a long time until I started becoming a content creator. That's where I was really, you know, looking at Reddit and reading other people's opinion about the game from outside as well. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited to see if they really. I think it's quite clear that they develop a game in the background. I think that's quite clear because I think the expansions currently are just too small to actually make, let's say, Guild Wars 2 really a game where I would say they put enough effort in to say this is the thing that they are currently doing only. But I would really like to see what they are currently developing. Yeah. This guy is so dead. It's not even funny. Oh, a thief can't run away. No. Got him. Yeah, I really think they are currently developing Guild Wars 2 with maximum 50% of the developers. I think at least 50% of the developers are actually working currently on another game. I feel like it's very unlikely to me that they are currently really having 100% of their employees working on Guild Wars 2. I think that's just very unlikely. So this is now the 2v2. Let's see if we can make that work actually. Nice, we got the CC here. Dodge this. Get the corrupt. CC here in 3, 2, 1. Nice, we got the CC. Not the CC layering though. It's fine. Try to push on this guy. Get the blind. Very good, and we get the kill here. Nice. Good 2v2. I like it. If the new map was with 100% of their employees, then I see a bad future for Guild Wars 2 and 3. Yeah, I think, to be honest, I can't see how they did that. You know, if they currently have, I'm not completely sure, but I feel like when I look at the, let's say, the latest data that we have, I feel like they have at least 150 employees, you know? 150 employees. Of course, not all of them are developers, yeah? But still, yeah? So let's say 100 of them are developing the game. And they have 3 months to come up with a game, with a map like that. I feel like this is horrible. This is so impossible to me that the map is not bad. It's just too small for 3 months of development, yeah? So I feel like this is highly unlikely to me, yeah, that this is really the case. You have to focus on this guy. Force the dodge. Ooh. CC chain. Nice, we got it. It's now 2v4, so we lost. Okay, now it's a 1v4. Not gonna happen, I guess. Nice, I juked a few. Maybe I can go to the guard and get the heal. Doesn't look like it. Yeah. Not possible. Sad. I tried my best. Yeah. Which do you think are the best 101s? Specs or Duelist Profession? I think currently Revenant is really good for 101s because it's extremely overpowered. So Herald, Power Herald in particular, I think Power Herald is really, really strong. Thanks for the sub. Really appreciate it. Really nice. Glad that. Thanks for your support. So I think Power Herald is really good right now. And what else is good? Dagger Catalyst. Those two are the best. And Hammer Catalyst. Those 3 specs are really, really good. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's maintenance mode. I think, to be honest, I think Guild Wars 2 is in maintenance mode. They currently push out as much content as they have to push out to keep people playing, keep people paying, interested in new mount skins, new legendaries and stuff they push out. But they want to have as many people working on their secret project in the background. That's what I'm predicting. Yeah. I don't know anything for sure, but it looks very likely. Colossal breaks. You think of getting back in Guild Wars 2? Your name is speaking a lot. Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I'm happy to say Guild Wars 2 is currently very fun to play. There are a lot of people actually enjoying it again. And even though we don't get the craziest amount of new content, there's so much content in Guild Wars 2 that you can enjoy because it's such an, let's say, long-term game already. So I would say it's very good to come back right now. Yeah. Yeah, fresh start is also good. There are a lot of ways to actually have fun leveling. Yeah. I guarantee that it won't sustain itself. People will lose interest if they always need to get their credit card out to progress. Games that use the model always end up failing. Yeah, I think, to be honest, the best way of Guild Wars 3 coming out is either a pay-to-play game, so you pay 50 euro and then you get the game and you have to buy, let's say, every 2 years a new expansion. That would be amazing. No microtransaction. Or you would have some kind of subscription fee. That also very good. I think ArenaNet won't do that though. And the last option would be some kind of microtransaction store, just like Gem Store, but a little bit more, I don't know, less about upgrades, only skins. So for example, currently you can buy character slots and that stuff. I would advocate for only having skins in there. Only skins, you know, nothing about character slot upgrades. I think you should earn them in-game. So you can, for example, buy them with gold only. Yeah. That would be amazing, but I don't dislike the Gem Store. I think the Gem Store is too hated by a lot of people for what it actually is. I think you can get actually everything in the Gem Store you can get for gold. So I personally think the microtransaction in Guild Wars 2 are not a bad thing for the most part. It's a little bit sad that you get skins there that are looking legendary-like, and you don't really get them in-game just by swiping your credit card. But better having skins that are cool and don't have to pay money for a game than having, let's say, uncool skins and you have to pay a subscription for a lot of people, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. The talking in World versus World by moving only? Yeah. You see it. No. I want to get more roaming going. I just want to get the debate actually finished about this before I go in another one-on-one that takes 5 minutes where I have to concentrate. Yeah. Gem Store, where all skins are available at once, please. Yeah, I guess that's a good thing. I'm not sure. I think Gem Store is always... There is always some argument against Gem Store. I think to have content for people that are, let's say, not interested in just buying something and they want some prestigious thing behind it, I feel like that's a big problem if you have something like a Gem Store. Yeah. But, I mean, I feel like to some extent they have to make money. If they can't sustain an MMO with just buy to play, then rather having a Gem Store than having some kind of really obnoxious battle pass. Yeah. That's just my opinion on that. Yeah. Guild Wars 3 will have updates. Yeah, I guess as well. I really, that's just copying. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Nothing says so well like convenience. Yeah, that's true. The only competitor is the bikini skin? Yeah, I guess you're right there. I guess you're right there. Yeah, exactly. I with you, Dikili. I think it's really unlikely that they actually can push out an MMO with a lot of content at launch that is buy to play and you have 0 transactions, microtransactions. I think that's just not possible in the current game world. It's I don't see it happening. Yeah. The payment model that Guild Wars 2 currently uses is the closest to perfect I have come across, as it caters for all type of players. I just hate the pay-to-win aspect in games like Thrones of Liberty. Yeah, I agree. I personally think for me as a, let's say, a veteran that plays a lot of Guild Wars 2, I think how much time I've spent in the game for how little money I spend on the game, it's actually amazing. And that's only possible because it doesn't have a subscription and I'm not forced to play or pay anything for the game. You know, I can pay if I want to get more gems, but I can also just use my gold. So as a veteran, the game is incredible for me. But I see why people would disagree with me there. Yeah. But for me personally, I think it's a good system. Yeah. I mean, looking good is why 90% of why people play MMOs, so being able to swipe for the best looks is lame. I feel like, yes, it's cool if you have some kind of prestigious looks, but sadly in Guild Wars 2, they don't introduce that. Yeah. So I hope if they would be coming at Guild Wars 3, they would make it so that there are prestigious items in the game that you can earn for completing a raid boss, winning a monthly AT, or something like that. Yeah. Something really prestigious that you can show off to others without actually letting people, let's say, just swipe to get this really cool skin. Yeah. That's my take. Thanks for the follow, by the way, Anarchy, Angel, and Metal Hunter. Really appreciate it. What's your main? I don't have a main. I play every single class. My main in PvE is Mesmer, but any other game mode I play Necromancer, Revenant. I play so many classes, all the classes actually right now. I'm a content creator. I create a lot of builds, so I always want to see how different classes play out. So I don't have a main, sadly. I can't give you an answer to this question. Yeah. Like the SAB infusions, you know, you can still earn those. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Could have cool costumes and gemstone and something like auras, wings, and as prestigious achievement items. Yeah, that would be cool. I feel like if they would make it like in Guild Wars 2, like clear cut. So for example, that specific items like, I don't know, mount skins you can only get in the gemstone, but weapon skins you typically get from the game as prestigious rewards. I mean, I think this guy doesn't have a chance against the Condi build. I have to be honest. And I even have a full death shot. Oh, sad it was not in range. It's so good. Playing an invincible Necromancer. Stop running. Now you're dead. Easy. Took forever, but I killed him in the end. Yeah, nice. Welcome, Otrish. Thanks for the sub. Really appreciate it. And you can watch on Twitch and YouTube. It doesn't matter to me. Whatever you like better. Yeah. Which class you think are very good at? Which class would you say is my best class? Boy, that's an interesting question. So I would say in PvE it's definitely Mesmer because I play every single build on Mesmer decently well. Yeah. When it comes to competitive modes, I would say currently I play Necromancer, Condi Reaper in PvP in particularly the best. But I also play Staff Tempest and Power Revenant. Those two are my, let's say, go-to picks in PvP right now. And for roaming, I typically roam on stream. So I try out different builds to keep the stream entertained. But it's not really I have one class that I would say this is my absolutely best roaming spec. It's just I play whatever currently I think is fun. Yeah, so my best class in PvE is Mesmer, but that's the only one that I can really clearly say. It's a little bit, you know, if you're veteran, you always want to think, at least for me, I want to spice things up and want to try out different builds and swap around all the time, so I don't get bored. Yeah. The legendary PvP armor variant reserved for the top PvP ranked players comes to mind. Yeah, that one is interesting. Sadly, I feel like the skin is not that good. So it's like, yeah, there is a possibility. Oh my god, how many people are there? Nah. Let's see how long I can hold here. But I feel like there's way too many people. I think there are at least 4 people here. Okay, I killed one. Is that the montage moment? Oh my god, I killed another one. Ooh, okay, okay. King of the Rock. Yeah, King of the Hill. It's, you know, it's like my variant of King of the Hill here. And I killed another one. Too good. This build is too good. The Rock carried. Not myself. It was just the Rock. The people was... The climbing on top of the rock was too hard. Easy. No port rock. Yeah, no port rock. I enjoy playing bow for some reason, but I suppose Dragon Hunter is stronger with bow. Yeah, Dragon Hunter is really good. And short bow on Revenant is actually also quite decent. So if you like to play bows, those two are the best specs with bows, I would say, right now. Yeah, that was fun. Skill issue. Yeah, definitely. It was a big skill issue of those guys. I mean, I guess you want to do another round. Yeah, I guess. Let's go on the rock then. He scares the rock. Okay. Very good one. I like it. I mean, I want to try different builds, you know. And I feel like Conduit Reaper is a different one. It's definitely not what you see usually on my stream. Okay. He wants to wait for his allies, I guess. Yeah, okay. I have to get another good spot here where I can juke them. Let me run. Okay, here's a good spot, I guess, to fight. No, the emob is killing me. No. Nice. Oh, come on. Now there are 3 people again, and I forced them in invulnerability anyway. They got me. Sad. The rock was carrying me. Did you ever try Celestial Weaver in PvE? I tried, but I feel like Catalyst is just way better. I mean, Catalyst is like here, and Weaver is like here. You know, the difference is insane. So I personally think, yes, you can play it, but Catalyst is just way better. Thanks, June, for the follow. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, Minstrel Harp is insane. I mean, Minstrel Harp is like, if you play that, you really want to suffer your enemies. You know, Minstrel Harp is like, oof. I don't want to play that build. Yeah. I mean, I tried my best. I tried my best. I mean, 3 people, it's quite hard to win against 3 people, especially as a build like this where I'm really, really slow. You know, I'm so slow, they can kill me 10 times over because they are so fast as a Willbender, as a Renegade and stuff. So I tried my best, and I actually won a 1v3 on the rock, so I'm happy about that. Yeah. I'm just sick of the teleporting invisible daredevils. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously not something that you want to have. That's why I'm really happy that they nerfed Thief in World vs. World, because I think Thief in World vs. World was really obnoxious, and it's still quite strong. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's also the end of today's stream. So thanks a lot for watching. If you want to participate in my YouTube giveaway, be sure to check out my YouTube and just type exclamation mark in the Twitch chat. I can do it, 1 second. And you have the chance of winning there. And be sure to participate in there if you want. It's really good. Have a nice day. And thanks a lot for watching. It was really fun. And yeah, as always, thanks for all the follows and the subs. And I hope to see you around. Thanks a lot.